Okay, here is your the first video on freeing your voice. So in order for your voice to sound its best, in order to be a good singer, first up you need to work on really freeing your voice, and you need to do some work on this every day that you're going to sing, even days where you're not going to be doing any singing. Doing these exercises is a really good idea. So freeing our voice and releasing tension is the first and most important step, okay? So we don't want to be harbouring any tension when we're singing. It's such a roadblock. Now, one of the best things for just releasing your tension and getting you prepared for singing that is really super easy to do is just a bit of self-massage. So starting with your shoulders, you can give those shoulders a good old rub. I'm going to go through this super quickly, just focusing on all different areas, but you want to spend a good time on each part. So your shoulders first of all, and the top of your back. Any little knots, gristly bits, focus on those for longer. So spend a good 2 or 3 minutes at least on each area. Then you're going to work your way up to your neck and give your neck a good old rub. Okay, once you're happy with your neck, you're going to use your fingertips and you're going to work your way across your scalp and give your scalp a real nice rub. So we've got loads and loads of tiny little muscles and tendons in our head which we never even think about. But the more you work these and give them a bit of love, a little bit of self-massage, the more tension is going to be released and the more space you've got for singing. Particularly important in your head, because when you're singing up those high notes, that's where the voice is going to need to resonate. So we want everything to be as relaxed as possible up here. Okay, then you can work your way to your forehead. Your forehead. Oh yeah, that's a good bit. Okay. And then down the sides of your temple and around the rest of your face. As I say, spend a lot more time on it than I'm doing here. All around your jaw. And then finish with your nose. It always makes my nose itch. Okay. As part of this, I really like to warm up my eye sockets. And I do that by rubbing my palms together so they're nice and toasty. And then just giving my eyes a real nice rest by very gently placing those palms in my eye sockets. Over my eye sockets. In my eye sockets sounds quite brutal. Hold them there for about 30 seconds and then welcome back to the world. And hopefully everything is going to feel a lot more relaxed. Okay, so we've freed up some tension there. You can, starting off every day by doing this, it's just a real nice thing to do anyway, but it's automatically going to give your voice a bit of a kickstart, especially if you're wanting to do any singing in the morning, which is always a horrendous idea. We're going to move on from that one by doing an exercise called paintbrush head. So I am not a fan of any head movement that does this kind of thing. So moving your head in a circle, it's not a natural way to move your head. Your vertebrae are going to be grinding against each other with that kind of motion, so I never want to be using that kind of thing in a warm-up or to do with releasing any tension. It's going to be doing the opposite. So instead, I want to imagine, to loosen up your neck, that you have got a little paintbrush on your head and we're going to be painting a cross on the ceiling. So we're going to bring your head down really slowly. Try to focus on each individual vertebrae, kind of moving as we do this, and then as you straighten your spine back out, just really try to focus and imagine what's actually going on with that spine as you're doing this, okay? So, paintbrush on your head, slowly bring your chin down, close to your chest. Feel that stretch. As you're doing the paintbrush head, you want to be taking a deep breath in, and then as you come back to the top, you're going to exhale. You don't have to physically have the paintbrush on your head, have your hands by your sides, and then down again. Okay, do a couple of times for each movement. I'm just going to do one from now on, then back. Again, focus on the feeling of those vertebrae moving. And back again. To the side. Feel that air, feel that space as well as you're breathing in. Again on that side, then the other one. Feel the stretch and the breath fill that space. Okay, so hopefully that's loosened everything up a little bit. Okay, face stretches are really, really important. So we carry so much blooming tension in our faces that you would not believe. It works so hard every day. You're constantly talking, you're constantly moving your face and creating different facial expressions. So all of these muscles are working super, 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 super hard so they can carry a heck of a lot of tension. So we want to really stretch out all these different muscles. So make a load of stupid faces at yourself in the mirror. So open your mouth as wide as you can and your face as big as you can. And then as small as you can, like a little mouse. Big face. Small. Big. Small. You can make some sounds while you do this as well. Why not actually work your vocal folds whilst you're doing it? So now we're going to make our face big and then small, but we're going to say wow while we do it. Wow! Whoa! Whee! Okay, and now we're going to work our tongue. So tongue stretches are super important. Again, your tongue can carry so much tension because you're always using it. Okay, and it keeps quite a lot of, your body's doing a lot of work to keep that tongue in your mouth as well. So it's always sort of being held back and restricted a little bit. So we want to make sure that your tongue is nice and relaxed because it plays such an important role in your singing. So first of all, you're going to do some big stretches. Stick your tongue out as far as you can. And then bring it in. And kind of curl it up to the roof of your mouth. Okay. And stretch it out. And in. So these are tongue push-ups. Okay? So out. In. Out. In. Okay? So lots of practice of your tongue push-ups. You can wiggle your tongue around in circles. And then we're going to finish up by drawing circles on our cheeks, on the inside, with their tongue. Unless you've got a super long tongue, then you can try and draw circles on the outside of your cheeks. Okay? Right, a good test to see how warmed up your tongue is by taking your thumb and very gently putting it just underneath your chin. You're then going to sing 3 notes at different points in your range and see if you can feel any pressure pushing down your from your tongue on that thumb on any of those notes. La, la, la. Okay, if you can feel the tongue kind of pushing down on your thumb or any kind of pulsating on that thumb, that shows that there is some tension in your tongue. So you'd want to do a bit more work on trying to relax that tongue. Now there, I could feel there wasn't so much in the lower note, and that note in the middle of my range, I kind of could feel a slight pulsating there, and then it eased a bit to that higher note. Try actually, without making a la sound, just try to keep it as an ah. 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 Okay, I couldn't feel that at all actually with the ah. So start with an ah and then make it trickier for your so your tongue is doing more work by adding in the l sound where that tongue is going to have to move. And yeah, just see if you can feel any of that tongue pressure, okay? Do a bunch more warm-ups if you can still feel it. You might find that it's still there, but if you can kind of make it go down a bit and not as prominent, that's great. The last one we'll look at for releasing tension is one we've really looked at a couple of times in the breathing videos, the elevator pushing down and the clenching of the butt cheeks. So you are just going to be redirecting your tension. You want, again I'll talk about the floaty head I mentioned in one of the breathing videos, so you want to, when you're singing, imagining that your head is this separate entity, this floating, relaxed, wonderful thing that the voice is coming out of, that isn't harbouring any tension, any stress, it's just a nice relaxed blob on top of your body. You don't obviously want any stress or tension to be held in the rest of your body, but this is where more of the muscles and stuff are going to be working hard for singing and for creating that support. So you can kind of redirect and focus your energy on like an image or an actual muscle reaction in order to redirect that tension. So if you clench your butt cheeks, you're automatically tensing up that area. So your tension is all going to be redirected there. If you don't like that one and you feel that it does kind of, because some people do find that that almost feeds tension up this way as well. So it's very much a love it or hate it thing. Leave that one alone if that doesn't work for you and just stick to the elevator imagery. So as you are breathing out, as you're singing your note, shh, la, you're imagining la, this elevator pushing down. So we've only spoken about that in terms of breathing prior to this, but now try that with singing a note. So filling your bottom half of your lungs with air in preparation to support that note. As you're singing the note, you're imagining this elevator pushing down and pushing any tension right down and out the bottom of your abdomen, and also just allowing that the breath to come out at a controlled pace at the sides of the elevator and out to sing the note. La. Okay, so I was able to really control my breath and I wasn't feeling any tension up here whilst I was imagining that image. Okay. Good luck with those and let me know if you come up with your own ideas.